Welcome back. Global financial crisis, debt and rising house prices are words today's kids know all too well. So how can we raise this generation to be financially savvy? A local author has tried to answer this in his new book, Kids and Money. Hilary Entwistle found out more.
Welcome to the program, Phil.
Hi.
So, tell us about your new book.
So, Kids and Money is my new book. It's my third book that I've released and just come out in the beginning of September. So I'm pretty excited about having this resource that's available for parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, essentially answering the most common questions that I've been asked over the last 12 or 15 years from people saying, how do I help my children when it comes to money?
So why did you want to write the book? What inspired it?
Well, all these questions happen, and for the years I would be running these seminars across the country. I've been on the TV here many times answering some of those questions, and I figured it was just time to get a resource in the hands of parents. You know, unfortunately, with the tight restraints on school curriculum and the time that teachers have, the focus that they take in the classroom, they're really not permitted to take a lot of time to teach children the practical aspects of money, and that means it falls on mum and dad at home or grandparents or caregivers, and they just don't have a resource to help them. So hence the book.
Because I remember at school we used to have those little banking bags and we used to have the little bank booklet and stuff like that. Do they even still do that?
No, and in fact that doesn't even happen at home. So most parents make the fatal mistake of doing electronic banking for their children. So they say, hey sweetie, I just direct credited your $5 pocket money to your account, here's your FPOS card. And that's a killer for kids. Kids don't learn that way. They think that there's an endless supply of money in the hole in the wall or in mum's wallet. And again, I address that in the book. Yeah, how do you disciple and train your children in some really common sense practical elements that will help them to be able to make wise choices later in life?
And do you think that is because of, that where we've got to with money now, it's all electronic, we don't actually physically see it, that's actually making us not really think about where it's going? Absolutely
correct. Yeah, there's a disconnect between the behaviour and the consequences that happen with the money that we have or may not have, even if we are spending it.
So what does financial literacy mean?
Financial literacy is essentially understanding money relevant to your circumstances. So we don't need to teach a 5-year-old economics or supply and demand or even the value of money to some degree, but we need to teach them about motivation, we need to teach them about choices and consequences. Later in life, financial literacy for teenagers means the ability to save using the benefit of interest and accumulation, the types of savings options they've got. All those choices become broader when you reach your teenage years, and then of course you enter the workforce and it goes to another level. So literacy is essentially helping you develop to the stage of life that you're at so that you have that as a platform to move to the next level.
What are some of those common unhealthy, what do you call them, unhealthy financial habits New Zealanders have?
Yeah, in the book I talk a lot about breaking some of those generational patterns, and quite simply what that means is that our children learn from mum and dad, and if mum and dad aren't doing it so well, guess what? The children are learning that. And so we talk about the absence of goals. So goals are very important. Goals are how you can get ahead no matter what your income level. I've been saying that for 10 years. If you use goals in a simple, practical, empowering way, you can achieve great things. And most families don't have them. That's one thing. The second thing is they use debt to fund their lifestyle. So Kiwis are relatively bad at it. Americans are worse. The UK apparently are shocking at it. And Australia not so much. But in Kiwi land here, what we do is we tend to fund our choices and our lifestyle with money we don't have, and we do that by credit card, or we do it by topping up our loans, Q card, hire purchase, you name it. And all we're doing is we're teaching our children to do the same. I recently saw a 16-year-old child put a $3,000 Apple computer on hire purchase. Yeah, I'll rest my case.
That's quite shocking. So saving is a big one. What are some tips to kind of save?
Always have a goal when you're saving. If you try and save money without a target, you will not be committed. Second thing is to keep track of it. You talked, Hilary, about the savings passbooks. I encourage kids to have one of those. Even my son has a chart on his wall. He's saving for a new electric guitar, and he's got a chart on his wall, and it motivates him and it keeps him on track. You can do that as a big person. You can have a target on the fridge that you colour in, get the whole family excited about the Christmas holiday you're saving up for, those kinds of things. And finally, put the savings somewhere where you can't get it, because when it's committed to and it's isolated, it's not easily spent when you have a weak moment in your favourite store.
I always got told that a good tip was to do that automatic payment straight on the same day that your wage goes in. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely, Hilary. One of the principles I teach in my first book, which was called Becoming Money Wise, is that your priority should be to save for your goals before you pay your bills. And I don't have time to explain it here, but it's something that's helped a lot of people.
So where can we get your new book then?
The new book is primarily available via the website, kidsandmoneybook.com. There are some bookstores that are starting to stock it, but at this stage, the website or Amazon, for those people that like to read on a screen, you can get it at Amazon as well.
Well, this is some very good tips, and I look forward to reading the book. Thank you, Phil.
Thanks.
You can find out more at kidsandmoneybook.com. Up next, fighting for the Sharks.